Amy, let me tell you about a magical place that is so exactly designed to be enclosed space, year-round fun for the whole family that I bet you already know what I'm going to say before I even say the name. Let's say it together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Great Wolf Lodge. You got it, Amy.
My kids loved Great Wolf Lodge when we went. You probably already know that it has a huge indoor water park with a wave pool, lazy river, a bunch of massive water slides. But then your pack can hit the other attractions because, wait, there's more.
Great Wolf Lodge has adventure-packed attractions like Magi Quest, a live-action game kids can play throughout the lodge, plus the Northern Lights Arcade. Spent some quality time there, so your kid who loves the lazy river and your kid who loves fantasy games will both have a great time.
Great Wolf Lodge also offers great dining options and complimentary daily events like nightly dance parties, all under one roof. Unpack the car once and you're settled in to have fun. And with 22 lodges across the country, you're always a short drive away from adventure.
We've both had such great times at Great Wolf Lodge, so bring your pack together at a lodge near you. Learn more at greatwolf.com and strengthen the pack.
Welcome to Ask Amy from What Fresh Hell Laughing in the Face of Motherhood, solving your parenting dilemmas one question at a time. This week's question is from Casey. She asks, at what point, if ever, do I attempt to help my 8-year-old kid with a conflict he is having with another boy in our neighborhood? The other boy is a year older. They've known each other since they were toddlers. They don't go to the same school, so they don't spend as much time together recently, but when they play outside, they've always seemed to be on good terms. Now they're in a group together at camp, and my son says this boy is telling him things like, you aren't my friend anymore, you've never been my friend, and I hate you. I realize I'm only getting one side of the story, and I've asked what led to this, and my son can't or won't tell me. He came home early from camp today because the leader called and said he was crying to leave. When I got him home, my son told me it was this behavior happened again, and that's what made him want to come home. I'm friendly with the other kid's mom. Do I text her and ask if she knows about some conflict between them? Do I ignore it and let the boys figure it out? I've told my kid just to play with other boys instead of this boy, and to tell a grown-up at camp if the behavior becomes too much for him to handle on his own. What do you think? Casey, this is a tough one because you know the mom and you're friendly with her. In a way, it makes it easier to not go mama bear because you know this kid. You've known him all his life. It's not like there's some stranger at camp being mean to your kid. And you're right to say, okay, I know I only have one side of the story, and that's a good perspective to keep. But if your son is coming home crying, I think it's already too much for him to handle. And if he could just play with somebody else and just ignore it and those kind of things, then he would have done so. I think that camp counselors are actually a special breed. You don't say how old the people are who are taking care of your kid. I'm going to assume somewhere between 18 and 22. They're kind of a special breed. They're not trained educators, right? Or trained relational therapists, but they are definitely super cool in terms of how the kids who are in their groups view them. I feel like a well-placed, hey guys, we don't do that kind of thing around here would work wonders with 8-year-old boys. I think talk to the camp. I think ask them to address it within this pod, saying, hey, mean is not cool. Like, I don't talk to my friends like that. I would never let a little bit of that from this counselor. Like, that's not how the Blue Jays are going to roll, or whatever the name of their group is, would really be quite potent coming from somebody who they believe is part peer and part demigod to them. I think your kid does need protection. If the camp couldn't do that, or the counselor is just not a good person to do that kind of thing, then they can just kind of keep them apart. Make sure the counselor sits at the lunch table with them or in their lunch group, pays a little attention to your kid, picks your kid for the partner to show how to throw a frisbee, whatever it is. Give your kid a little extra protection and positive attention. Not so much that the older kids think that there's a bubble around him, just so your kid feels a little bit protected. Because the crying that's happening, I think it's all a reward that a bully needs to keep going. We understand as adults that just don't care. Say I don't care if you like me or not. But kids can't do that. And when they show their hurt feelings, that's all the oxygen this needs. And of course, this kid is probably getting leadership points by beating his chest after making your kid cry. So I would nip it in the bud. Talking to the other mom is harder. And I admire you for saying I could do that, because you probably should do it, and it's not easy. You said do it over text. I wouldn't do it over text. People can read things into your texts, like whether you used a period or not. They can sort of ascribe all kinds of tones to your text that are not intentional. And that seems a little landminey to me here. So I would do it over the phone. The way I would play it was be like, there seems to be some kind of beef between the boys. I don't know what it is. So I just wanted to let you know, I've kind of asked the counselors to keep a little bit of an eye on it, maybe put a little bit of a buffer between them, because I'm not sure what's up. And then if your friend asks for more details, say, well, okay, this is what I'm hearing. Clearly, it's only one side of the story, but he's coming home crying. He's saying, you're not my friend anymore. I don't know what's up. I just thought maybe the camp should put a little space between them. You're definitely right, Casey, to keep it in perspective and not panic. This kind of behavior, this relational aggression, is really common in children. And I'm really sorry your son is having a tough time right now. I think it's good that you're not going mama bear, but on the other hand, I think your son does need a little support. Camp is the perfect place to have discussions about what friendship is. It's all about relationships. And I think the 18 to 22-year-old counselor might be the perfect person to reset what the expectations are about how to be a good friend. Send us your parenting questions and we might answer yours next. Email us questions@whatfreshhellpodcast.com. Thanks for listening.